Conflict resolution, something we all yearn for and don't always achieve. If you're looking for seeds of conflict, look in this week's Parsha, Parshas Korach. Comes Korach to the esteemed leader Moshe Rabbeinu and says, Kulam Kadoshim Haim, the entire Jewish people are holy. So tell me, why is it, Moshe, that you've reigned supreme as the ultimate nepotist? You are the leader, your brother is the high priest. Isn't there room for anyone else to grow in the Jewish nation? Well, sometimes you hit certain conflicts and you wish the other person would disappear. It's exactly what happens in this week's Parsha. Moses tells everyone else, steer clear from Korach, and he says as follows: if really I've done anything wrong, then Korach's going to live a wonderful life, he'll live out his years in health. But if I actually haven't done anything wrong, let the earth open up its mouth and swallow Korach. Now, let's put this in perspective. We're not talking about an earthquake in the California magnitude San Francisco back in the 80s, where you could see all of tectonic movement going up and down. We're talking about the earth, like a zipper, opens up, closes up, and Korach disappears. I'm sure that's how we love it to happen with a lot of our argumentative friends or enemies. That's exactly what happened. Very, very tough lesson, though, because it doesn't always work out that way, and more often than not, the conflict lingers and lingers and lingers. As Rabbi Yisrael Salanter deftly puts, as it says in the Ethics of Our Fathers, Kol machlokas l'shem shamayim sofa l'skaim. Any dispute that is for the sake of heaven will endure. So Rabbi Yisrael says, I'm fighting for the sake of heaven. I'm not willing to back down. If that's your attitude, there is no doubt that the machlokas, that the dispute, will endure. Now, one interesting point is that it wasn't only Korach who was affected by this dispute. Usually speaking, when it comes to Jewish law, there are times that capital punishment can be invoked from bar and bat mitzvah age. And then sometimes there's a consequence of heavenly punishments. Those are only meted out when someone would be older than 20. And yet here, not only was Korach destroyed, not only was his wife destroyed, even children, babies, were destroyed. And why is that? Why did they, so to speak, deserve to die? It's a hard question to answer. The reality is that shows you just how destructive machlokas is. And I was thinking to myself as follows. Korach and his entire family were swallowed up. Not only were they never to be heard from again, but it's almost as if they never existed. And if you think about certain family conflicts, isn't that exactly what happens? Because the tragedy of the conflict is not only that two siblings or two cousins don't get along, they're fighting, they're arguing, either it's over who gets the honor at the bar bat mitzvah or who gets the inheritance, and they stop talking. The real tragedy is, after many, many years, they don't even know what the cause of the friction was. But I'm not going to his house. He's not coming to my son's wedding. And I think really the biggest tragedy is the children. It's not so much that the brothers and the sisters wish that the other were, God forbid, dead. It's that their children and children's children are swallowed up alive also, as if they don't even exist and have no right to engage with their own family. The dispute in this week's Parsha was a difficult one, because really if Korach would have succeeded in unseating Moshe Rabbeinu, it would have just unwound the entire fabric of the Jewish people. We are all holy. Korach was right, but we have to understand there's leadership. Not everyone can be that Monday morning quarterback. But the bottom line is, when it comes to our own machlokas, our own disputes, be very careful, because sometimes it's not worth that deep price that we pay, separating ourselves, isolating ourselves, removing ourselves from family, from loved ones, and from friends, and generally speaking, it's over something which could have been reconciled. Keep that in mind. It's a time of dispute. There's also a time to get rid of dispute and to grow together as friends, as family, as a Jewish people. Wishing all of you a good Shabbos.